with that 2252 RMS converter. I'm using it to convert my meter signal into an RMS output, which I'm then going to use to feed into basically an LM3914, the LLC package, just to control some lights for a meter bridge. I had to use a op amp in between the stages to boost up the signal level, because it comes out at about 1/4 of a volt for about 7.5 AC sine wave. And is this circuit here, which is basically a peak detector, but basically it rectifies it again, and you set the threshold for that LED to turn on. It works really well. I've got mine set for +9 BU, which is about 3.47 volts. RMS on an AC input. So on the board there's two meters, one basically with the LM3914 and this little peak guy, which I can calibrate to be higher than the normal meter or within the meter range, depending on how your preference is. It just gives you another, like, a safety backup if you want to have a hard clip versus a soft clip type meter. So on the bench I've got the power supply up and running. This is a 2 toroidal transformer power supply. It actually has a 48 volt output on it, but I'm not using that tonight. Just a plus and minus 15 volts. It's all SMT. I don't know if you can see what this part is, but it's a nice little design. Everything is tunable. Just a simple linear regulator design, and even the 48 volts is tunable, so you can adjust it. And then I've got my standard GPS, and basically gas surge arresters, and some TBS on there for the AC line filtering in. And I have an option to put a RC on the ground line if you have noise. I pretty well hear. I've never had a problem with my ground noise, but there's also some RF filtering there, some caps there for the AC input. Now on the main board I have there's the LLC chip and a bunch of LEDs, and on the other side of the board there's that chip there for the RMS detector, and then there's my op amp there with the peak detector circuit, little transistor, highly modified because of course, you know, everything's always a work in progress. The board wasn't cut exactly how I'd want it, so a few mods, a couple little pots on there. It's a little messy, but everything's kind of glued down and it's not going anywhere. So again, that op amp, I wasn't even planning the second gauge stage for the meter, but that was you know, an oops. So there's my oops. But I have glued those jumpers down, so hopefully it'll last for demo purposes. And here's the meter in action. I've got some Corpora Clanny playing in there, so it's very highly limited music, just so I can get the full brightness out of it. But yeah, I think this is going to work great for the new Stellar EQ, which is sitting over here, which has yet to get fired up and ready to go. Got some work to do on that baby yet. But that's it for tonight.